Good evening, Netroots Nation. Buenas noches. I know that some of my right-wing colleagues hate that I am bilingual, but tonight I'm going to say buenas noches. I am Congresswoman Delia C Ramirez, and I get to represent the mighty Illinois 3rd Congressional District. And for those who don't know me, the most important thing that I want you to know about me is that I am the daughter of Guatemalan immigrants, Luis and Maria Ramirez. I am the wife of Boris Hernandez. I am a citizen by birthright, and I belong to a progressive, multiracial, multicultural coalition that built me and keeps me grounded. I am part of a coalition that has created the opportunities for me to dream, to organize in community, and for us to be able to fight like hell for the diversity that makes this country great. To create a future where we all thrive. And one thing you may not know about me, well, some of you that are here that know me know this, is that I love music. I love the power that art has to heal, to unite, to liberate and represent. And in dark moments, I find inspiration in art, whether it's an artist like Ile, or Kendrick Lamar, or Nina Simone, or even musicals like Hamilton. Because art reflects our desire to create bridges that unite us. And so I want to reference the musical Rent in our first few moments together. In it, Jonathan Larson wrote the phrase, "The opposite of war isn't peace, it's creation." The lyric, which represents the invitation of so many progressive movement leaders for us to build something new, has really stuck with me. You see, we live in a time of war, in a country addicted to war, surrounded by world leaders who wage war because they believe that strong man idea of peace through strength. And we know that authoritarian governments, whether it's Trump at home, here in the United States, or Putin in Russia, or Netanyahu in Israel, wage war to silence dissent and undermine resistance. You see, they seek control so that they can abuse and extract from the people, our communities, and our planet. And we don't have to look far to see the outcomes of the Trump administration's heartless, inhumane, brutal campaign of control all around us. You see it in the war in Gaza. You see it in the war on our immigrants. You see it in the war on trans children, the war on civil society, the war on unionized workers, the war on unhoused people, the war on working people's benefits like Social Security and Medicaid. Their campaigns of starvation, displacement, and death at home and abroad are meant to break us. They want our resources, they want our land, they want our freedoms, they want our lives so that they can advance their imperialist, authoritarian agendas across the world. And yes, we are living in a time of war, a time of great destruction and deconstructing. And I'd lie to you if I tell you that we are not living in dark times. And yes, we're also fighting back to protect our communities right now. But fighting back is just part of it. Because it is important that we understand how we are interconnected together so that we can be in the fight that it's going to take to liberate our communities. I'm fighting back by filing the Born in the USA Act that protects the birthright citizenship in this country, you know, a thing in our Constitution that now we have to codify because this president doesn't believe in the Constitution. I have the Block the Bombs bill, which will withhold weapons from Israel, and we need to make sure that more members of Congress who are saying enough starvation, enough bombing, actually sign on to the bill. We're using every tool at our disposal to protect our people and to resist the Trump administration's attacks on our communities. But fighting back, resisting is not enough. We know that. We are not here to protect the old ways. The old ways have not worked. We're not here to defend existing systems. We are here to stand up to the establishment of the few for the fewer because we know that that system has not worked for our communities. We are clear that the current system has never worked for us, that it doesn't reflect our values, and that it could not serve our people. Because we know that we cannot bear peace from the seeds of violence. We cannot reap community from a field of domination. We cannot experience safety from bombings and oppression. And that is why it's more important than ever before that we understand that the opposite of war isn't its absence, it's a transformation and creation of something new. We are creation people, Netroots Nation, and we are part of a creation movement building forward. We create community systems and movements rooted in a radical love for the people that defy authoritarian control and that reflect our commitment to justice, to equity, to human dignity. The world we create must be rooted in peace, strengthened through democracy and justice, and built on diplomacy and human rights for everyone, regardless their citizenship status. And it requires that we choose love over hate, relationship over conquest, cooperation over competition, and diplomacy over domination. And I know that the work is possible because I see it happening across the nation. Because together, as we go back to our communities, we are imagining, creating, and building forward systems of care, of love, of support, of dignity that we need to thrive in spite of the war that's being waged against our communities. In my own district, in District 3, we've stood up rapid response efforts to defend our communities against Trump. It's why Tom Homan hates me so much. He says, we come to Chicago, but Chicago's too educated on their rights because he hopes that we don't know our rights so they can violate them. Well, Tom Homan, let me tell you, all over the country, we will continue to stand up for our rights, and we will continue to call out the terrorist organization that is ICE. And I know that our work is possible because we are the legacy of all the leaders who envisioned a different future and then created through organizing, movement building, narrative changing, and policy making. We are the inheritors of the legacy of Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta. We are the inheritors of the legacy of Ida B. Wells and John Lewis. We are the inheritors of the legacy of Audre Lorde, Angela Davis, and Chairman Fred Hampton. We are the inheritors of the legacy of Father Oscar Romero, Rigoberta Menchú, and Berta Cáceres. We stand on the shoulders of those who fought for indigenous rights, formed the first labor unions, thwarted dams, stood up to dictators, expanded voting rights, and advanced the cause of abolition. And in a time of chaos and fascism, we are creation people in a creation movement building forward. And I know we're tired. You can see it in my eyes if this is maximizing here to my face. And I know there will be days that we feel really tired. The past few days have attempted to challenge my conviction. The past few days I've been dealing with, being most seen on Fox News. Living rent-free in Tom Homan's head. Tweets from the Department of Homeland Security against me because, I was the very first member of Congress to call for the resignation of Kristi Noem, and she needs to resign immediately, or we need to impeach her. So yes, there will be hard days. There will be days that they will attempt to retaliate against us. There will be days where they attempt to intimidate us. But in those moments where our hope seems to waver, I have also heard us ask, what are we for, not just against? Because we have to be people that are for something. So what are we creating? In a time when our shared humanity is being violated, our fundamental rights are being undermined, the rule of law is challenged, and fundamental freedoms are being renegotiated, I want to remind us that in 1948, the United Nations General Assembly adopted the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Through the document, representatives from across the world affirmed their commitment to fundamental human rights, to the dignity and worth of every human person, and to the equal rights of all members of our communities. And as of 2020, all 193 member states of the United Nations have ratified at least one of the 9 binding treaties influenced by the Declaration, with the vast majority ratifying 4 or more. And so I tell you, across the world, the declarations have rooted us, emboldened us to call out atrocities, to fight back against dictators, and to demand more from our elected officials, not less. So I'm going to share my answer to the question, what are we creating? Inspired by our communities, by our creative ability to build forward, I believe it's a time for a new set of declarations. I believe it is time to claim and create a future that reflects our progressive, working, people-centered values. We have to, and we will build a future where every person has the right to remain in their communities, where community-driven democratic processes drive land use, and where everyone is guaranteed safe, dignified, affordable housing. The future we fight for is free from being priced out, free from being defrauded, displaced, expelled, or stripped of our land rights, especially in service of private profit, corporate interests, or imperial efforts. We will build a future where every person has the right to free movement, to seek asylum and protection, and to migrate and return to the places we call home in the interest of safety, security, and opportunity. The future we fight for is free from exploitation, trafficking, segregation, deportation, detainment in exchange for the profit prisons or the family separation and the occupation and genocide that we continue to see. We will be free from all of that. We will build a future where every person has a right to economically thrive, to access the securities and social protections that ensure our health and vitality, to unionize, to work and rest in ways that are self-determined and affirm our humanity and our dignity. The future we fight for is free from economic exploitation, from slavery, from income inequality, from wage abuse, from discrimination, and free from intimidation. We will create a future where every person has a right to health, safety, well-being, access to comprehensive health care, adequate, affordable, nutritious food, sustainable communities with clean air, water, and green, climate-resilient infrastructure. The future we fight for is free from medical debt, from profit making off of our sickness, from price gouging at the grocery store, pollution and profit over people and planet. Because it is not enough to simply protect the rights and freedoms we have now when our people are still unhoused, when our people are still foreclosed, when our people are detained and deported, poor, hungry, sick, and drowning literally and figuratively in crisis after crisis. We, Netroots Nation, demand more. We deserve more. We will create a future in which our rights and freedoms mean working people have every single damn thing that they deserve and more. And that we are free from the exploitation and the inequity that have defined our community's experience of being American. We understand, as our predecessors did, that the inherent dignity and the shared humanity of all people is the foundation of collective liberation, justice, and peace in the world. And we have some policies that will get us there along the way, like housing for all, like Medicare for all, like a Green New Deal, like the PRO Act, like the Raise the Wage Act of 2025, because no one can live off of $7.25 an hour, and the Equal Tax Act, which I will be introducing in September to tax the rich. But policy changes is only one of our tools, because we are a movement, a global interconnected movement, from Humboldt Park in Chicago to Honduras to Palestine to Ukraine to Haiti and the Congo. We have the power to organize, to build power, to practice solidarity, to shift the narrative, and to take care of one another. And in a time where they attempt to silence us, where they attempt to paralyze us, may we never normalize this moment. Because yes, war is destruction, but we are creation people in a creation movement, and we are building forward. And so tonight, Netroots Nation, let me tell you, there's not enough of us in Congress that are saying that we want to end big money out of politics. We want to get big money out of politics. There's not enough of us that are willing to stand up to Tom Homan, to Kristi Noem, to Stephen Miller. There's not enough of us that are holding the line where our mere existence in these places seem to be a radical act against fascism. but the organizing, the building that you are doing, inspire us so that we can keep doing this and multiply the number of Congress that are actually holding the line, building forward together. So as I end, Netroots Nation, this is our moment. Netroots Nation, love on each other like you've never loved before. Netroots Nation, organize and mobilize like you've never done before. Do not normalize any of what is happening, and don't take any excuse from your elected officials that we are in the minority. We must become the opposition party to fascism, to organize and liberate our communities and deconstruct the establishment status quo that has attempted to keep our communities poor. Let us be light in the midst of darkness. Seamos fuentes de esperanza, seamos lazos de hermandad. Let me translate that for the GOP folks that might try to translate this and misconstrue it. Let us be fountains of hope. Let us be sisterhood, brotherhood. Let us continue to demonstrate what we're building for. So what do? We stand up, we fight back, and we do it together. Netroots Nation, let's fucking go.